Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to analyze a very exciting game. As you can see, we have Hans Niemann versus Anish Giri, and these players are competing in Esports World Cup, which is right now in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and this is, I believe, the first time that chess is included in these games, and it's very exciting because it's not about chess, it's all about all other sports as well. And I remember when I played in Asian Games for the first time in 2006 in Doha, Qatar. I was really excited because we were, in Olympic village, and it gives you a vibe that you are an athlete and you're with other athletes. So it's a different experience than, just chess tournaments, because it's about the game. So it means that all the sports are over there. So I assume that this esport is also uh, very interesting and unique for chess players, because chess players are usually traveling to chess tournaments, but they don't meet other people from, other sports or games. So this would be really interesting. But anyway, I was watching the games online today, live, and I saw this game, which was really interesting. And since this is one of the opening that I play myself as well, and it's a popular opening Italian game or two nights, so I wanted to analyze it for you guys. So let's dive into it. Okay, as you can see, Hans Niemann is playing as white, and Anish Giri is playing as black. I mean, all the players had a long flight, I believe, to Riyadh, and Hans started with e4. Black played e5, knight f3, knight c6. Normal moves, bishop c4. We have Italian game, knight f6. Then it's two knights defense, and d3, bishop e7. Okay, bishop e7 is a move. Bishop c5 is also playable. But Anish preferred bishop e7 and knight c3. Oh, by the way, this game, as you can see, is a 10-minute game, and players don't have increments. Yes, you heard me right. Usually in FIDE tournaments or most of the tournaments, we have increments, but since there is no increment, I think it's more fun to watch, and it's more stressful because if you're down, on time, then everything can happen. So you don't get to think that long if there's no increment. Okay, so Hans played knight c3 here, d6, a3. Okay, the reason that we usually play a3 here is to clear that square for the bishop, because as you know, the light square bishop in Italian game or Spanish game is very important, and you usually don't want to exchange our bishop with this knight. So that's why we want to keep our light square bishop. So white played a3 here, black castled, white castled as well. Black played bishop g4 to pin the knight. Now the idea here is to play knight d4, which is a typical move. Why? Because whenever you create a pin, you want to put more pressure on that piece. So white needs to do something really quickly here. White played h3, which is top engine move, and Anish played bishop h5, knight d5. Okay, knight d5 is a move that computer doesn't like that much. Probably computer prefers bishop e3. But I think knight d5 is totally fine, and it's not a like blunder or anything. So knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, and black played here queen c8, which is an interesting move. You might ask, okay, why didn't he play queen d7 to connect their rooks, right? But here, white has a tactical move. I want you guys to pause this video and find the best move for white. So this is like a chess puzzle. Let's test your basically tactics. So yes, the best move here for white is to play knight takes e5. So this is an unpinning sacrifice, which means even though the knight is pinned, we can take the pawn, and if black takes our queen, we can take his queen, not only attacking the rook, but also this bishop on d1 is under attack. So this position is absolutely winning for white. That's why queen d7 was not possible, and Anish here played queen c8. Okay, white played g4. G4 is the second choice of computer, so it's totally fine. Another move that white could play is to play c3 to prevent this move, knight d4, as I mentioned earlier. So g4 is completely fine. Bishop g6. And here, Hans played c3. Rook e8, king h1, knight d8, rook g1. So white is trying to attack on the king side. Black played c6, bishop a2. So white played h4, and black played f6. Notice that after h4, white wants to trap the bishop. So black needs to either play f6 or h6. And f6 is a better move, because if we play h6, this bishop is not great on h7. So f6 is also the best move for black. After f6, white played h5, bishop f7, knight h4, bishop f8, queen f3. All of these moves are kind of typical. You want to attack on the king side, and black is kind of want to defend the position on the king side, and at the right time black can strike back. So black played queen d7, bishop e3, and rook d8. And here Hans took the knight on e6, which was the right move. And the thing here is that black wants to play knight g5, and black wants to block the white pawns. So Hans took the knight, and after queen takes e6, which was not a good move, a better move here was bishop takes. But after queen takes e6, white made a mistake here, and I should say that's a blunder. g5 is not a good move. So we have another tactical move in this position. I want you guys to stop this video and think about black's move. What should black play in this position? What is the winning move for black? And yes, if you look at this position, you see that you have this threat of checkmating this king if this queen was not on f3. So the queen on f3 is the defender. That's why the best move here is to play bishop takes h5, which is a great move, and which was played by Anish. And here black is in a better shape. So probably Hans just blundered this move, bishop takes h5, but he also played kind of fast. He just thought for 4 seconds. Okay, it makes sense because you don't have increment, you don't want to think that long. But after knight takes f5, white is clear, better here, and computer gives like 1.4 advantage for white. because black pieces are really passive and white is having an attack on the king side. White has more space, and white has an easier game, I would say. It's really easy to bring the pieces towards the king side rather than playing as black, because black doesn't have enough space. But in, blitz games, rapid games, anything can happen. So Hans played g5, which was a mistake. Bishop takes h5, and then he played queen g3. Okay, so here black is winning, but with, just few minutes on the clock, you might also make a mistake. So let's see what happened next. So f takes g5, bishop takes g5, rook takes rook d7 because the rook was under attack. Okay, so rook g2 makes sense. You want to double up the rooks against this pawn. d5, rook g1, rook e8. And another thing is that you usually want to play in the center where your opponent is attacking on the side. So white is attacking on the king side, right? So that's why d5 is a reasonable move. So you want to play in the center. So white played here f3, black played rook f7, rook h2, bishop c5, and the rook is under attack, so he moved the rook up. Probably this move, rook h2, gave black more opportunities. A computer likes here bishop e3, but okay, again, black is in a better position. Black is up a pawn, but after rook h2, bishop c5, now it is like minus 2.4. But Anish has only 5 minutes against 6 minutes for Hans. So bishop c5, rook g2, d takes e4, d takes e4, and rook ef8. So here white played bishop d2, which is actually a computer choice. It's a good move. Black played rook d7. Rook d7 was a mistake. A better move here for black is to play g6 to make sure that everything is protected on the king side and on g file. But black played rook d7, rook h3, which is correct. Bishop b6, king h2. White is consolidating his position. So bishop d8, bishop g5, bishop c7 here. H6, knight f5, and now it gets a little bit scary because white wants to take here, white wants to take here, the pawn g7 is vulnerable, and here is black to play, and Anish has only 3 minutes on the clock, and he chose the right move because there is just one move that keep his advantage. The other moves just actually lose. So he understood that the knight on f5 is really strong and he needs to get rid of this knight even if he should sacrifice. So he played rook takes f5, a brilliant move by Anish, and e takes f5, queen takes f5. So basically black lost a pawn, but the knight on f5 was really strong here. So bishop takes h6, and here black is down a pawn, but the point here is that white king is really exposed. So black can play e4, opening up the bishop. The queen is pinned, and the only move for white to save the queen is to push the pawn to f4. Then black played g6. Very logical move, especially in time trouble. You do not want to complicate the position. You want to just maintain your advantage. So g6 is that kind of a move. And white played queen h4, black played king h7, which was a mistake, but he didn't have that much time. As you can see, the clock is ticking and both players are about they have just 2 minutes. Okay, Anish has 1 minute and 57 seconds. Hans has 2:06, so 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So anything can happen here. So king h7, a better move here was to play king f7, but who would move the king towards the center, right? So it is a little bit tricky now. So queen h7, bishop g5, a good move by Hans, and although it was kind of forced, I would say. Okay, he had also this idea, but you don't want to complicate the position again. So bishop g5, rook d3. Rook d3 was a mistake. So you see that the position is about equal now. A better move here was just to go back, to g7 or g8. But after rook d3, white didn't find the right move. Here, white played rook h to g3, but the right move was to take here and trying to get the pieces back. I don't know, queen f2 or queen g3, and trying to get the pieces back, and this position is about equal. But okay, white played rook g3, which was not the best move. Black played e3, which was a great move. Rook e2 was a mistake. White should have played c4 or queen h3. Okay, these moves are really difficult to find. I mean, rook e2 looks natural because you're attacking here. The bishop cannot take you because it is pinned. So black played queen e4 to protect the pawn. Rook g2, rook d5, king g1, check, king h2, queen b1, threatening rook h1. And look at the time, guys. Hans has 24 seconds and Anish has 1 minute 8 seconds. So it is really tough for Hans here. King g3, rook h1, attacking the queen. The rook has to play to h2 if he doesn't want to lose the queen. And then queen g1 check. The king can't move here because it is... actually, we can... What can we do after this move? King h3. Yeah, we can play... Yeah, rook takes h2 is possible, but there is this move also because we can check and then go to f3. And if he goes this way, at least we have e2 and maybe we can promote the pawn. Okay, so this is the game. And here, white played rook hg2, but now black can just exchange the queens and play rook g4, king h2, and rook takes g5. Okay, the reason that he didn't play this move is because white could technically play rook takes e3, and both of these pieces are under attack, even though after rook takes g5, black is still better. But rook g5 is also good enough, and after rook g5, Hans Niemann just resigned, and he had just 6 seconds on the clock. Anish had 48 seconds, but this was a really tense game. So this was their first game in this match. Anish drew the second game and won the third game, which meant that Anish qualified for the basically last stage of the tournament, which I think is going to start tomorrow. And he's going to compete with, all the great chess players like Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, and Alireza Firuzja, and all the other talented players. So yeah, this game was really fun to watch because there were a lot of tactical moments, and it was an attacking game, and everyone likes attacking game, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And I'll see you soon in the next video. So take care. Bye bye.